All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hope everyone's having a fantastic end to your weekend as we take a look at the Monday market report for the week ending April 9th, 2023. All right, so here we are, springtime, and the fever pitch couldn't be any higher. We have just an absolutely amazingly huge Monday market report for the middle of spring. People are enjoying collecting. They're out there. They're hunting for those high-end rarities, their registry set editions. We have plenty of it for you here today. In addition to a number of five-figure coins that'll make your heart melt. Always good to see. Very, very active week from great collections, and that's who we're going to use for our Monday market report. All right, so if this is your first time here, as always, welcome. You're probably catching this either on a Sunday evening or a Monday morning as you're heading out to work. And we talk about some of the most impactful post-1900 modern era of graded coins that have sold here this week. And we have 20 coins to talk about, from Lincoln cents all the way up to $half. You guys will not want to miss this. It's a pretty nice, very blockbuster-ish type of Monday market report. No other things of note. We will be back again Monday night on the live coin Q&A channel. If you guys want to check that out, you guys have questions on any of your coins, feel free to send us an email to info@livecoinqa.com. We might feature your coin on a live coin Q&A live stream event. Again, we will be back on tomorrow night, Monday, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time in the evening, 8:30 Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Sorry, I can't even think. It's been one of those days, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 5:30 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. And then you guys there in the Central and Mountain time zones, you guys know where you sit there. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into the list. It's pretty nice, and of course, we're going to start it out with one of the biggest varieties to show their head out in the scene. These are always a welcome surprise if you're a hunter of such coins. 1983 Lincoln Memorial Cent that features probably one of the strongest double dies in this series. And this is the DDR, I believe it's the FS801 Cherry Picker's Guide variety, of course. This, along with the 1984 doubled ear, have really shot up in popularity the last 2 years. These things are not nearly as affordable as they used to, but maybe we're seeing the price kind of settle down here. Like, for instance, this is a Mint State 67 red example. It's also got a CAC green bean sticker on there, which normally enhances the value of such coins. So this one right here ended up selling for $1,393.88. But these have sold for a lot more in this grade. Probably, if we had to look back 8 to 12 months ago, these things were a few $100s more, and we've seen the price kind of settle down to almost, I'm not going to say pre-pandemic pricing, because even then they were, quite valuable and quite spendy if you needed one. But, obviously, will we hit $1,000 again like we used to see on these a few years ago? I don't know. I don't think we'll ever hit there, but this welcome kind of correction is going to allow people that want to buy some of these have the ability to do so. So it'll be only a matter of time before we see the next example pop up on the open market. I would say great collections, because they usually sell coins of this caliber, but any other auction site, we may see another one of these. So kind of a great way to start out the MMR this week. The next one that we have here is a top pop, I would say readily available proof set coin. 1978S Lincoln Memorial, graded out PCGS Proof 70 full red, deep cameo. As you guys know, that 70 grade level is the highest grade that you could obtain on any coin, whether it's a proof or a business strike coin. On proof, however, there are certain dates that are just incrementally more tougher to find at a perfect grade level. Anything late 70s, early 80s, you could probably make the argument in that case that there are a few dates in there that are tough. And because of that, such coins will still command a pretty nice market. The health of the market on this particular coin ended up being at $2,306.25. In contrast, the 1977S in proof 70, one did sold this evening for around like $600 to $700 less. So I know for a fact that that particular date is more readily available in proof 70 for folks who, more likely registry set participants of Lincoln set series will be the main targets for type of coins like this. But outside of that, very rarely do you want to invest in a modern coin of this type, keeping in mind that more that grade out at a 70, that'll largely affect the market and the price of these things in time. So, pretty nice coin. Obviously, with the sharp, deep cameo contrast, that's what you're looking for on this. And then we have probably one of the rarest varieties that you could find, in the series, and that's got to be this 1970S Lincoln Memorial. This is the FS101 doubled die obverse. It's as tough to find as the 69S. I think population figures are similar, pretty close, but yeah, pretty tight availability on these things, and that's the big reason why that they're quite spendy. This one just so happens to be a mid-state 65 red, but even this coin, we've seen the market kind of settle down a little bit, all right? These things are not selling for almost $10,000 like they used to. Maybe just folks that collect these high-end monsters probably got the examples that they needed. But in any event, this one ended up selling for $6,216.75. So again, another blockbuster, high power variety that you could find out there and change, but it's going to take a really nice grade for these things to, kind of be in that $5,000 to $10,000 range. So yeah, keep on hunting for these, and maybe one day you'll come across it. And then we have probably one of the just wildest registry set coins for Lincoln Cent registry participants that you will find. Anything P mint during the 50s are all really tough because the quality of the coins were really not that good. So finding one that grades out at a 67 or higher is going to be kind of like the chase for these particular coins. And, you could look at any date between 1950 to about 1957. 58 is kind of like an outlier because there were actually quite a number of those that graded out nicely. But, from 50 to 57, those are all definitely tough dates to obtain a 67 or higher. Now, this one right here, it's at its highest. It's a mid-state 67 plus, full red, and surprisingly, these coins are not cheap. Like, for instance, this one ended up hammering this evening for $14,062.50. A coin where tens of millions of these were produced. It's kind of hard to believe that a coin like this would even muster a 5-figure price tag. But when we're talking about an elite level of collector base in that registry set, wallets get thrown out the window, right? We're talking about deep pockets level of collecting here. And the next one that we have here, of course, 43 Lincolns are always going to be perennial favorites among many levels of different collectors and investors. So again, your big target grade, I suppose, is mid-state 68 on these, and it's always a bonus to have the CAC sticker. That would most assuredly double the value of this coin. This one right here ended up selling for $5,062.50. So again, another really big coin. And you don't have to worry about like color designation on these because they're zinc-coated steel. So they're only one shade up until they begin to wear down due to circulation. So because of their status as being a very unique one-shot type coin, these will always be popular for years and decades to come. And here's the 1936. I actually like the appearance of this coin. It's not wild and splashy, but it is one of the, the main line, I guess, varieties that you can look for this particular date. Now, NGC grades this one a Mid-State 64 red-brown. This 36 doubled die obverse has a variety number of VP001, and that is actually the variety attribution number for NGC. But in reality, this coin is FS101. This is the big variety for the state. Now, there are 3 big Cherry Pickers Guide varieties for 1936, but of course, the FS101 is the mainline one for the state and should always be pursued by those that love this variety. This one right here ended up selling for $2,308.50. The kind of like dark color with the splash of purple toning and various other things on this coin give it that extra added element of desirability among folks that love the original skin of a coin. And this one certainly brings that to the table. And the final Lincoln cent for this week is a monster of a coin. A coin like if you guys saw my thumbnail or you read the listing title, I mean, this thing is a monster. Over 131 million pieces of a 1916 Lincoln wheat cent was produced. Okay, so it's not exactly a key date. It's actually far from that. This is kind of like a mainstream level of mintage for these coins. Of course, the Philadelphia minted coins of the teens are all up there and all very available. Now, you could always go out and pick up a very affordable mint state 1916, spend less than $100 and be totally okay with that. But again, registry set people, they like to take it up a notch. It's like a game show to them. So they'll throw anything they can at it, and when you have a top pop Mid-State 68 red example, I thought the Stuart Blay coins were done. This is not a Stuart Blay one, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. This is just another consignment that ended up selling for $55,161. Again, truly life-changing money from a coin with a wildly high mintage. Certainly unforgettable, and this is like one of the big coins for the week. All right, we do have some nickels. It's kind of hard to top that 1916 Lincoln, but I'll try my best with these 5 centers. 1959 Jefferson nickel, just well known to be a tough coin to find with full steps. Traditionally, any late 50s, 1960s Jefferson nickels, quality left a lot to be desired. Okay, and because of that, any coin that exhibits 5 or 6 full steps are going to be desired among Jefferson nickel registry set owners. This is a Mid-State 67 plus, and it does show 5 full steps this time around, and it sold for $2,754. So, a really nice specimen, and one that'll go into a set to be sure. And then we also have this one, give this one, I guess, a little bit of a nod because it earned NGC's really tough star designation, which normally denotes, some sort of eye appeal on here. In this case, it does have toning. You have a little bit of kind of like that dark terminal nebulous toning that makes it look like, outer space, Deep Space Nine, level of toning here. 1944p, really easy to see that on silver wartime nickels, toning does affect these, and in a good way, of course, value and price-wise, it takes it to a whole other level. But of course, these coins, above all else, react differently to atmospheric conditions, whether it's a little bit of heat or moisture. It really makes these things produce some pretty wild colors, like any other silver coin would. So this one, I'm happy to say, sold for what I feel is a bargain at $1,001.25. And 1940D, okay, we're talking two polar opposites here from the previous coin to this one. Just your standard nickel, all right? Third year of the Jefferson design. This one just so happens to be an NGC Mid-State 68 Plus. 5 full steps. As you can see, NGC graded coins, are showing up this week. They're getting a little bit of extra love, where on certain other weeks it's really, truly dominated by PCGS grades. But this one is huge. 68 plus? Are you kidding me? I mean, it ain't too far off from being perfect, and this is a beauty. If you look at the steps, this is a monster. And 1940s are generally well struck, so you just have to kind of nitpick at all the other, I guess, planchet nicks and things of that nature. Of course, the rims are very clean on both sides of the coin. This one ended up selling for $4,837.50, so good one there. And we also have a few buffaloes. I mean, we have some pretty gosh darn big buffalo nickels here this week. 1921. I mean, what else can we say? Very tough, very, very tough date here with this one. One of the tougher, probably top line dates. I don't think 67 plus is the top pop for 21. But this one shows some pretty good luster that I think is quite sweet. This one is, fair game here, I would say. So this one right here ended up selling for $5,682.78 for a PCGS Mid-State 67 example. And I think that one is just A-okay to me. Very good looking coin here. And we also have a 1920D as well. Another stunner from another mother. And this one right here, not nearly as lustrous, but I tell you what, guys, this is one of those dates that can fool you because it's so hard to find one with a clean strike and that luster that you want from it. That's how crazy it is. And, the likelihood that something like this will, come up with much better luster is very doubtful, okay? Even in Mid-State 66, I mean, this thing is super cool. And, it ended up selling for just a monster amount of money. I mean, this is truly a conditional key. $33,751.12 was the final price on this one. So make what you want to make from this. It's just a monstrous coin. And then 1918D, again, another big time date here for this one. Again, we can't really ignore, coins quite like this for any other reason, because Buffalo nickels generally command top of the market for some of the finest grades. Now, Mid-State 66 Plus is just that, although it's not the highest grade for such. I've seen them go much crazier, but this one is, again, another really nice one, and it's sold for $11,081.25. So for the elite bunch that like dipping their toe in Buffalo nickels, the teens and 20s are certainly going to give you all of that extra challenge that you're looking for. Okay, we do have a few dimes, some beautiful Mercs, all right, all with toning. 1945S is what we have here for the first one. PCGS gave this one a Mid-State 67 plus full bands, but what is also very important is that toning. The toning on both sides gives it the originality that is everlasting. It's a coin that most collectors want, because they are truly unplayed with. They're undoctored, they're untampered with, and this has everything that an investor or a collector needs. This one right here ended up selling for $1,662.75. Not nearly as nice of a toning as a previous example. This is a 42S, and this one is generally here because of the strike designation. Full bands or any type of full strike designation on any 1940s coins, quite tough. All right, so we have this one here, Mid-State 68 full bands by PCGS, and it sold for $5,637.99, which is a pretty big amount of money. I have a few lesser grade examples of these. Now, when I mean lesser grades, I have a few 42S's in mid state 65, one with full bands, one without. And, I didn't pay nearly as much for them, maybe, $100 to $200, on those coins. And, they can be a lot more affordable. But again, this is probably more of a registry set coin than anything else. And in 1926, again, just thick with original skin. The toning on there, you either love it or hate it, but you're going to love the dollar bills more than you will the toning. You might as well just auction it off. And that's what this person did. Mid-State 67, full bands, CAC certed as well. And this one ended up selling for $3,600. So again, 1926, a little bit earlier date, but keep in mind it's a Philly, so a little bit higher mintage on this one. Okay, only 2 quarters, but they're early 60s Denvers. Okay, we do know that these early 60s Washington quarters, the 90% silvers, they struggle mightily in the cleanliness department as far as quality. So 62D is the second most toughest, I would say, before the 63D, which is the toughest and the most expensive. But if you're able to score a mid-state 67 on any of these dates, you have officially won. And it doesn't matter who with, whether it's NGC like this or PCGS. You're just a winner all the way around. This one ended up selling for $1,244.25. And we also do have this 1960D, although no toning on this one. This is just a blast white original. But again, the Mid-State 67 Plus, the CAC sticker, means a whole lot to this coin. And it puts it up into a completely different level of value. $5,175 was the final hammer price on this one. And I'm sure 95% of you did not expect that at all when you see a coin like this. And a few candy half dollars. Now, we've highlighted a few just really crazy coins from the Kennedy half dollar series, and we have 2 more. All right, so the 69D we have here, obviously the toning is what really sets this one apart from the rest on both sides. Okay, obviously the obverse toning is a much more attractive look with its rainbow progression. But when you look at the reverse, it's crazy. It's generally kind of like a steel blue with like nebulous colors. I have a feeling that there was probably a piece of paper or something sitting on the coin in an envelope or an album or something. That's the only real reason why that you would get that kind of patterning on that one. But with all being said, NGC graded this one Mid-State 67 Plus, and it sold for $2,194.88. So again, monstrous 40% silver score. If you found this in junk silver and you happen to pay $3 for it and you flip it for $2,000, I'm not gonna hate. I appreciate those kind of flips. And then finally, we're gonna end it off on the good old 64. Now, this is a Philadelphia minted coin, and yes, it's on here because of its original skin. All right, and its cleanliness as far as grade is concerned. NGC also gave this one a Mid-State 67 Plus, and it sold for $2,314.12. Again, not a huge fan of the actual toning on this one. It's too dark and gray, and normally, it doesn't appeal to a wider audience, but when it comes to that original skin, sometimes having skin in the game is better than having a blast white coin all day long. Grading companies will give extra consideration with eye appeal than they would, one without. So just something, a little word for thought when it comes to things like that. And that's it. That is a just top and bottom, just absolutely amazing Monday market report. I haven't seen one that had that kind of variety in quite some while. So we saw that in full display here this evening. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Did you guys have a particular favorite coin for the Monday market report for this week? Would love to hear about it. Go ahead and post it below in the comments field. And again, we have a huge week of more consultations. Okay, if you guys are interested, I do have that link down below. We still have some openings here over the next 2 weeks. So if you want to chat with yours truly, go ahead and check things out. Pick out a date, and it's a small fee. So, you'll get your money's worth, I'm sure. And I love talking to you guys. All right. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this one. If you're, catching this on Monday, you guys take care. Have a great week. Don't work so hard, and you guys enjoy the hobby. Okay. Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and you guys take care, and I'll see you next time.